Stay tuned as we will be going live soon. To sponsor a show or advertise, call or WhatsApp 0763 593 288. Melo Media. Melo Media. Melo Media. Stay tuned as we will be going live soon. To sponsor a show or advertise, call or WhatsApp 0763 593 288. Melo Media. Melo Media. Melo Media.
Hello and welcome to the live show on Melo Media. My name is Jestone Mhango, the Vice Principal of Lusaka Agrotech Institute, Lati, Jasi and Lusaka. And today we will be discussing on commercial farming. And to do that, I will start first by introducing what commercial farming is. Commercial farming is the farming for a profit or farming for business that involves the trade, and the trading is selling and buying. If you are doing the farming just as a hobby for not a profit, then you're just having fun. So for you or for anyone farming is supposed to have or to base their farming on three fundamentals that these three fundamentals that are taught at Lusaka Agrotech Institute, which are the business plan, farm management strategies, as well as entrepreneurship. We have the majority of the Zambians, over 2/3 of the Zambians are involved in farming, especially in the rural areas, but then they are never successful. Whilst we have a few individuals in the lowline areas who are commercial farmers and they are always successful. These are just the three reasons that we are going to discuss, which will make you as a farmer a successful farmer. In farming, if you are operating without a business plan, you are destined for failure. The reason being that the business plan is a tool that guides a farmer on what to do, when to do, and how much it will cost the farmer, as well as how much is expected or a projected profit from that activity or farm business. Every farming activity is supposed to be treated as a business. If it is not, then you are assured to fail. We're going to discuss the business plan, the simple business plan for small-scale farmers who intend to graduate to commercial farming. That is, we will discuss on the just on the important parts, which are the background. We'll discuss the key personnel, that is the individuals or professionals that are supposed to be involved in that program. Then we also discuss the physical budgets, marketing and financial budgets, as well as the indexes that are supposed to accompany the business plan. In the farm management, we are going to discuss the functions of farm management, and then the strategies that should be employed. On entrepreneurship, we are going to discuss on how to force or to create the market for your products. Sometimes there are fixed markets, sometimes there are no markets, but how can one create a market where there is no market. To start with, on the business plan and why it is important to the farmer is that when you have put all the resources that you have in place on paper, you are able to tell if you are going to make a profit or a loss. If you are making a loss on paper, then definitely you're also going to make a loss out there in the field. If you are making a profit on paper, even if it's not a guarantee that that's a profit that you're going to make, at the end of the day, you're going to tell if of everything, if you did everything right or where you did something wrong. That means in the next try, you'll be able to rectify that challenge or problem, and then you're going to be successful. Commercial farming, it is believed that it is owning or practicing farming on a huge piece of land. No, it's not. It can even be just in the backyard of your house. But as long as you're making profits from that farm activities, then it is commercial farming. That is, what is a farm? A farm is simply a piece of land where crops are grown and livestock are reared for a profit. Therefore, one can have a farm activity in the backyard of their house when let's say they're doing seedlings. With the seedlings, you don't need much space. Even a 10 by 10 or 10 by 5, you can have trays there, prepare your seedlings, and make profit out of that. That's farming as a business. Or you can have hundreds and hundreds of hectares, but if you are not making a profit from there, then that's not commercial farming. So we said the business plan is a tool that guides the farmer. Business plan is also an investment tool. The banks or individuals, investors who look and see the viability of the business. So the viability of the business is seen from what is written or what is jotted down on that piece of paper. So how do you write that business plan to help you practice commercial farming? To start with, you have to have a very good and simplified system. The one that we are giving you is not a standard. It's just a simple like system that we think can help you. And that is, we're going to have the background. In the background, we're going to indicate how you started or how you've gotten to where you are. Where are you working? Are you a student? Where is the interest in farming is coming from? So you put that piece of information, and it is very, very important in the sense that it is going to help you by how much interest you have or by how much force you are starting that farming business with. It is how far you can go. So when you put up that information, then you would have decided as to where you intend to grow your crop or to rear your livestock. That is location. When you indicate your location, that location is important because it is going to be related to where your market is. So when you put up your location and you know where your market is, it is going to help you to do the calculations of the transportation of farm inputs from the suppliers to your farm and your products from your farm to the market. Also in that location, you're going to justify or going to understand who else is producing. When we come to look at the competition, it's going to help you to look at who else is doing farming and why should you choose that area. So if you're using it as a guide or as investment tool, The investors will want to know, why did you choose that earlier? In the background, you also put the name of your business. When you put the name of your business, the name of the business should be attractive enough or should be self-explanatory of the business that you are doing. Otherwise, if you just put it, say, Mhango General Dealers, you could be doing mining and then you want to invest into agriculture, or people will not find you easily. But if you have the name like Melo Media, you'll be easily found and categorized into media. Like Lusaka Agrotech Institute, we are easily found and categorized in. After you've chosen your name, you also have to now look at the key personnel. The key personnel are the people that are going to help you build your business. So these key personnel, these are professionals, people that are specialized in the farming businesses. So you should list them down in this business plan. You should talk to them, employ them either as permanent workers or as part-time, like the casual workers, and even part-time professionals on as consultants. So how can you have these people if you are just a startup? So as a commercial farmer, you can be either a startup or you can be a struggling um, farmer who wants to improve. So in order to get, if you are a startup, I know professionals are very expensive, but how can you attract them to business? How you can do that is by you putting up a very good and attractive business plan. So when they know your business plan on how you are going to find the resources and how you are going to just conduct your business, if you've completed the supply chain management, it will be attractive enough to promise a good pay to the professionals, and then they're going to join you. So here we'll look at four things. The first one is the directorship of your company. Then the second thing we're going to look at is the board. The third are the managers, and the fourth, the casual workers or the general workers. So on the directorship means every business is supposed to be registered. If you do not have your business registered, it will be very difficult for you to conduct business with the banks, with like the shopping malls or the buyers, the big buyers. It means you'll just be dealing with the local people who may not sustain your business or to grow a business. So when you register your business, then we're going to look at the board. The board, we're not going to discuss it today because we're looking at a small-scale farmer who intends to go to commercial farming. The board comes in maybe after some time, 5 to 10 years of being in business. So later we'll be able to discuss that. Then you look at the management. The management is supposed to be comprised of professionals with PhD, masters, degrees, diplomas, certificates. So when you are starting your farm, of course, you're going to be using the workforce mainly with the certificates and the diploma holders. Then as you grow, as you expand, then you're going to be getting the degree holders, the master's holders, and even the PhD holders. You definitely need to have staff that is both academically qualified and field or experienced staff. If you don't have academically qualified, you can do a lot of work at the farm, but the expansion will be very difficult because there's been no one to carry your vision in your farm business. We've already said on how you can have these experience. You can start with them on part-time. That is, you have the degree holders, the PhD holders, and the master's holders. You assign them a piece of work that we're going to do this piece of work because you already know how much money is going to return to you. And then when you give them that assignment, they do, the return comes, and you give them a check until you grow to an extent where you can employ them permanently. The caretakers that multiple users on as managers, there are the reasons why the farm businesses have failed for the majority Zambians. Because these people, when they come at the farm, they are there at the farm. It's to them, it's paradise. They come to marry and have a lot of children, and they don't care about your vision. Because themselves, they may not have the vision. There may be one or two with a vision, but then their visions are limited. If you have the farm manager without a vision or with a limited vision, it means that will be also your farm with a limited implementation of your vision. Therefore, it is imperative that we employ experienced and academically qualified staff at your farm. On the physical budget, the physical budget, again, we're going to look at four things. The first one being you have to do the listing of everything that you're going to be needing in that farm business. To start with, if you are doing tomatoes, you're going to list everything starting from the seed, the quantity, the fertilizers, you list the poles, you list the irrigation facility, you list everything that you need. If you're doing poultry, you list down everything, the drinkers, the feeders, the lights, the poultry itself, the feed is that with the grower, starter, and the finisher. You just list them down. Secondly, you quantify. So in quantifying, you just look at, am I using an hectare or 10 hectares or whatever unit piece of land doing, if it is crops, if it is in livestock, I'm going to be raising 10 pigs or 10 porkers every month. So then for you to have the 10 porkers, how much of the space you need, of the stores that you need, how much of the doors that you need, how much of the feed that it will be taking you every month. Then now you are quantifying, you quantify, you quantify. Part is you do the costing. It's simply walking in to the agro dealer shop, submit your list or your quantified list of the farming that you need. When they give you the prices, at least for each product, get three quotations. This will help you find affordable, but also you have to look at durability of farming. And then after you've done that, now you are able to do costing. So when you are doing the costing of everything that I need, so that will give you like a figure. Per hectare, you need so much of the farm inputs. Per livestock, if it's poultry, 1,000 beds, you're going to know how much. So the first thing that we're going to do is to schedule. I'm going to start in January. If I start in January, it's poultry. After 6 weeks, we harvest. If it is goat, we start in January. By June, we harvest and sell. If it's a porkers, somewhere in May, June, we harvest and we sell. And it goes on like that because you have a schedule. So on the schedule, you have to put either if it's a short term and long term. Most of the products like the cabbages, the green maize, these are short terms. And the medium terms are mainly like the piggery, the layers, as well as the goats and sheep. And then have like the cattle, which matures maybe after 18 months plus 24 months and 30 months plus going there. Or the ranchers, which you can have as many years as you can. So you categorize them like that, and then you plan. The non-marketing part, on the marketing, market is simply a venue where you buy your product or you sell your product. And this one can be physical or can be virtual market. So the physical market is like Soweto, Mele, SOS, while the virtual market can be YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. Marketing and marketing strategies. This is now the thinking outside the box that you put in place or that you understand in order for you to make a profit. It starts with you actually have to do this by yourself, which is market research. In market research, there is forensic market research that you can do. There's also data collection and analysis that can help you to be a commercial farmer. In market research forensic, this is where you carry the actual product to the market. After you've listed down the possible markets, now how do you list down the possible markets for your product? Raw chickens. You eat the chicken yourself. The question is, where do you buy it? So where you buy it, that is, you buy it from Soweto, you buy it from the supermarket, you buy it from many places. So you start from the same places where you buy these products, and now they are your targets, because now they are your clients. They're the ones that are going to buy your farm products to sell to other people who are just like you. So you go to the supermarkets, you go to the hotels, restaurants, lodges, name them. And now this time around, you're going to go with a product that you intended to sell. If it's poultry, you go with the bed. If it is cabbages, you go with a big cabbage. That if you intend to be growing bigger cabbages, you go with that product. Now, when you are there, you are now presenting as you already have the farm, a functioning farm. When you present your chicken, you present your cabbage to them, you ask them or you tell them the amount. In other cases, they will tell you they already have a program like the supermarket. They'll tell you a chicken we buy at this price. If it is 40 kwacha per kg dressed, 20 kwacha per kg live, and so on and so forth. And then you now start finding out who supplies them, how often do they supply them, by what quantities do they buy. So this information, you put it down, and when you put down this information, it is going to help you to know who your competitors are. And then later, we will be learning about the farm management strategies. Then you are going to see how you can beat the competition or how you can be used by the same competition. So after you have done that, in some cases, you find that certain products are highly on demand, and they will even give you a purchase order. So when you get the purchase order, so meaning you're already into business. That's how easy these things sometimes can be. But in some cases, it's that tough. You can go around and then come back without nothing. But that is not to discourage you. That is just to understand, to say, if you had gone into farming this product, that's how much of the challenge you are going to have in finding the market, and you are going to have lost everything. So then the other part of market research is the data collection and analysis. Look at the people that are engaged already in the kind of farming business that you intend to do. Ask them questions. How has it been in the past? How is it? And how are they looking at the future? These people, because of their experience, they're able to give you intel that is in the business, which is going to be very helpful to you as you engage yourself in the farming activity. As you find out, also go deeper into their personal lives or into the company's lives. Is this business sustainable? Is it like, does it bring, is it worth it to be in the business? Because sometimes they are doing it as a hobby, so they don't care. They make profit, they don't make profit, or mostly they don't understand why they're into that business. They just follow the wind. So it's decide if now you're going to get into the business, because you're going to be acting like them, you're going to be living like them. how they are living, how they are struggling to make ends meet in this business. Then you make a decision after that. Then also in the marketing, we're going to look at the market share. So when you're outside there, when you're looking at the market share, is how much of the deficiency of this product on the market. So when you are deciding on a product, the best is to decide on the product that is consumed globally. So let's say for the herbals, ginger, garlic, and moringa, these are products that are consumed in America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and you can sell to any part of the world or the globe where there is a deficiency. If you are selling products that are locally, say the maize is mainly to Southern Africa, Southern Central, and part of East Africa. If you are growing this product, meaning you are going to be confined to this population. And if you're going to be confined to this population, you still have to know more about who else is producing and where. So Brazil produces for us, produce and bring their maize here, which mostly is cheaper, but we will discuss that further into entrepreneurship, which is even cheaper than the maize that we produce here in Zambia, and even of high quality. So now when you are deciding on the market share is good enough. So the market share, when we say good enough or bad, it's bad, is when you can say how much I can produce, how much like the maximum I can produce. If the maximum you can produce is maybe less than a ton, meaning if you produce at maximum, you produce more than a ton, it's going to be a loss to you, then that business don't get into it. But so this is what we're saying. If it's a global, if it's on demand globally, like the ginger, meaning there are no limit to the tonnage that you can produce. You can produce millions and millions of tons. The globe is going to consume. The 7 billion people are going to consume it. That is if you're even selling at $1 or $1. That means your potency of that business is $7 billion. Now, when you've decided on the market share and you know that it's good enough, the deficiency is there, that is the market, that's a demand, the demand is there. You also look at now your target market. So on your target market, that is your consumers of your product. You categorize them. Are they youths? Are they women? Are they men? Are they government institutions, NGOs, or who is going to be? Of course, we know that food is consumed by every person in the world, but there are target groups that usually purchases these products. So just to give an example, of course, the men, they eat the tomatoes, but it's the women that buys the tomatoes most times here in Zambia. So now these women, how are you going to make them have your tomato in their kitchens? There you begin to develop some strategies that we'll discuss in farm management strategies. After you've discussed with yourself or you've practiced or understanding the target market, you're also going to look at the competition. In competition, anyone who is producing the similar products that you intend to produce is your competitor. Now, there's a notion that competition is bad. We're telling you today, competition is good. Why? Because when the competitors who they will reshape you, they will perfect your business, they will make you understand more of the business, and you're going to come out refined and perfect businesswoman or businessman. So what happens is when we're doing the market research, ask these people, who are your buyers of the product? So when they tell where do you buy from this product, they will give you, we buy from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You make that long list. So these people that also supply to the market that you intended to supply, you need to go and do a background check to understand how are they surviving, how are they doing, and how are they managing to supply. For certain products on the market, when you just look at them, you even wonder, are the people not making losses? How are people surely selling chicken to Sakagote Institute at 28 kwacha per kg live weight. And yet they are surviving in the business. Go to them, ask Lati, who is selling you? When you go and find out, so you who are selling to Lati this cheap price, where do you get your feed? How are you managing? Are you making any profit? You will learn something from it. The other, when you have these competitors, want to teach you two tricks. You can either use the competitor or you can be used by the competitor. How can you use the competition? When you get the purchase orders from the buyers, the possible buyers, and they tell you, we want 1 ton of your product every week. The price is $1.50. We want $1.50. Then the production cost is 50 cents, meaning you'll be making a profit of $1. So when you go out there, you'll find that there are a number of people, and actually here in Zambia, we have, of all the farmers that we have, we can guarantee you that 90% of those farmers are into the production. Now, so meaning anywhere you go, you find people who are willing or already doing the production and they don't have the market. So you can go to those that are producing already, and you understand how much they sell, how much profit they make. They make $1. They may be making $1 also. But then you say, okay, instead of making $1 profit, can I be making 50-cent profit? And have somebody, use the competition to say, you guys, you make $1 profit, but if you produce for me and you sell it to me, you'll be making $150 profit. You are making less, you're making them to make more, then they are going to produce on your behalf. Less stress, less worry about the insurance covers and if the product is spoiled and so on and so forth. You can make, but you will know definitely that little profit, 50 cents, is guaranteed. It will come. You can do that. Or you can be used by the competition, where anyone who comes and is offering more, you produce for them. When you are producing for them, even if they're giving you less profit, the thing is there's guaranteed profit. When there's guaranteed profit, no matter how little it is, it gives you room for expansion. Because you know that 1 ton of my product that I'm producing today will be sold. I'll make this profit. You can increase on your business. You can go as much as 10 tons, knowing there is no stress. So you can be used by the competition, or you can use the competition. Then on a financial budget, before you spend 1 cent, $1 or 1 kwacha, please, you need to know how much the whole program is going to cost you. Do not start just because you have seen other people doing the business. You just go and buy fertilizers that you don't know how many bags that you're going to buy, just buy feed, or you buy chicks that sky solve. You always have to solve them and put it on paper. So in the financial budget, know how much of everything is going to cost you, and also know how much of the profit you're going to realize from that business. Just these 2 questions in the financial budget. How much do I need? How much am I expecting to get? Is it worth it? So I'll tell you why sometimes it may not be worth it. In maize business, maize planting starts in September, where you're going to plant it, you purchase the fertilizer. Planting goes on between October and November, in the certain region, that's the region. Vegetative stage goes the January, March, flowering starts, the fruiting also goes on until April, May, when the marketing season opens. So in May, June, July, you are selling. That means you've clocked a year. So in that you've clocked a year, how much money are you going to make after a year if you're doing 1 hectare? For those who does 1 hectare or even ½ hectare, those that are on a farmer input support program, in ½ hectare, What is the expected number of bags? Is that what's the expected number of bags? How much is it going to, how much are you going to spend on that production? And also how much you're going to expect in terms of revenues or profits. So that profit, then you divide it by 12 months. How much money have you made? Is it worth it to do the program that you are on? If you're going to be doing the tomatoes, which just needs the total maximum of 8 months, from 1 month planning and 1 month of course, we'll be selling throughout just after 3-4 months. But then we say in 8 months' time, selling one hectare and the number of boxes that it gives you, is it worth it when you make those millions? So you do a comparison, a cost analysis between the crops and livestock that you intend to do in that financial budget is supposed to give you. So when you are satisfied, then you say, okay, then we are going ahead, or we are not going ahead. And it's just there where you're going to say, even somebody is going to say, I think we can invest in your business. Or you yourself are going to say, I think I can go ahead in this business. And to sum it up all in the business plan, if you don't feel like investing in that business, investing your time or your money, then don't do that business, or don't invite anybody to do business with you, because you're going to find yourself in problems. Farm management strategies. I've already defined what a farm is. Management simply means decision making. And the decisions, when you're making them, they can either be informed or uninformed decision. As you are making these decisions, we encourage you to make informed decision. Informed decision, that means consult with veterinarian, agronomist, and livestock specialists, as well as fish experts or aquaculturists, before you engage in of the business. Otherwise, your business is going to be a total loss. Now, mostly, most people make losses because they make uninformed decisions. What are these uninformed decisions? This is the information we get from social media. From social media, there are famous people that I would not want to mention their names. But when you see this, you're going to remember that these are the people that were warned about. They will come and post how lucrative the business is. Now, when you invest in dairy, you milk 10 liters per day, 15 liters per day. You are selling at 20 quarter per day. They will give you figures of the money that you're going to be making. Sugar cane, they will post on social media. Sugar cane, 1 cane is 1 quarter. You have in 1 hectare or in whatever unit you have, if you just plant 10,000, so you have 10,000. Look at how easy it is. Wait. You need to write a business plan by listing down how much of the farm input you're going to need. You need the cuttings of the canes, where you bind them, where you planting them. How much water does it need? Do you have the irrigation facility? Are you going to be using the rain fed? You list all those down, the chemicals, the fertilization, the labor that will be going in, how much of the labor will need. Put all these things down on paper and be informed. How much money are you going to make? If it's not going to give you any profit, please do not get into it. Don't get excited when you see watermelon. Somebody flashes the watermelon. They're selling the watermelon. It's 20 quarter. And there's so many millions. And they'll be like, oh, then you buy the seedling for them. No, 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 don't do that. Wait, sit down. Ask them how much of the seedlings, how much of the fertilizer, the land, if you have your own land already, how much, what would be the soil nutrition requirements? What's the crop nutrition requirement? How much of the fertilizer? How much of the lime? How much of the labor? How much of everything? Write them down, not your head. Always when you're doing the calculations from your head will always disappoint you. Or it will always align you to the way you want to think, and that is, I'm making a lot of money because when I sell, put it on paper, then have another person revise on that. Look at it and say, oh, okay, this one is making sense, this one is not making sense. You've made a lot of mishaps and mistakes. Now let's talk about functions of management. So the functions of management are three. That is planning, implementations, and control. The mistake that you small-scale farmers make, the reason why you don't graduate to commercial farming is you are everything. You are a planner, you are an implementer, and you are a control. We always say this. You can never be a teacher and at the same time be a pupil. Why? Because if you are a teacher, you're going to teach yourself that 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. When you give yourself an exam, 1 plus 1, what are you going to say? 11. Is that the correct answer? It's correct to you. But outside there, you have to implement your program outside. The whole world will say, no, it's not 11, it's 2. Meaning, whatever you did remains with you, was successful with you, but you're not going to be successful. And you can never be successful on your own. You need the others. So to need the others, you need to agree with everybody else. So this is what happens. The owner of the vision, or the farm owner, makes the decision, makes the vision, do the planning. The planning, you can also do it with the farm worker. So here at Lusaka Agrotech Institute, we do train the farm owners and the farm workers to understand their role in this commercial farming. So when you do the planning, so the farm owner just shares the vision. This is my vision. And when you find an expert, a professional who has both academic and field experience, grabs that vision and goes to implement. You, the farm owner, you're not going to implement. You can supervise based on the schedule in the business plan that we've talked about. Based on the schedule. In the first week, partly, we need starter. We need to have placed everything like the feeders, the drinkers, the water should be available, the lights should be available. When you're supervising, do we have this? The implementer, who is the farm worker, explains we have this. What we don't have is we are replacing it with this one, and because of this is because the implementer will be now coming up with strategies. We need more warmth, we need less, we need this because this is what we intend to achieve at the end of the day. Now, when you've done the planning, which is the business plan, you've written its foods, it's done. The implementer goes and do the farm work. After he has done the farm work, then the controller, who is the farm owner, comes and do the control. So what we say that in the first week should be done, did we do? If we didn't do, why didn't we do them? You will notice a lot of mistakes, if there are mistakes, or a lot of improvement even beyond what you planned. At the end of the product at harvest, have you gotten the exact as you planned, or it's less? It will be less. It will be more. Why? Go back to the business plan, which is the guide. And then you keep on improving until you become a real commercial farmer. The other mistake that we make when you're doing everything by ourselves is that you cannot control yourself, because already your mind is telling you when you realize that it was less, it was more, it was wet, it was so you already know. But if you are controlling the farm, the implementer, you are able to say, you made mistakes here, I'm taking you to the police, you've stolen feed, you've done what, you're able to rectify the problem. The next time you're going to do it right. So that is very, very important. On some strategies, we only share 2. There are others, you come and learn them from the Lusaka Agrotech Institute. One strategy is a production strategy. On the production strategy is you need to know when to produce what. So like we are getting into January. January, what's are the best crops that you can maximize? Onions, or most of the tubers, the onion, the garlic, the ginger, you can plant them now. Or the sweet potato, or the Irish potatoes, this is the time, January, February, to plant them. Because you want to harvest them when it's not too wet. Or the cassava that you want to harvest the following year, this is also the time to plant them. Because you're going to establish them now, then the following season, when the rain starts, whether it starts in September, October, November, December, then it would have caught up with enough moisture now to produce the tubers, and it will make you everything easy for expansion. The other business that you can do now in this rainy season, as we are getting to January, is to plant the plantations like the bananas, the avocados, the mangoes, the citrus, and so on and so forth. So the production, you know. But then, since here at Lusaka Agrotech Institute, we recommend that you stick to one crop, one livestock. You specialize, only you integrate. That integration farming is where you have the main product, and then you have the other the other crops or livestock for sustainability's sake. If you have, let's say, poultry, and you produce a lot of byproducts of poultry, which is manure, you take that piece, some manure, you put it in the cabbage. You can't just throw it, and you can make more money if you use it as manure to enrich your pieces of land to produce the cabbages that you are not going to apply a fertilizer. You use that money to buy feed. It's for sustainability. But your main business is chicken. Or if you are into cabbages, you have a lot of leftovers after the commercial or the supermarkets have bought from you. You have those that they leave out, the small stunted cabbages. Keep goats, keep pigs, keep cattle. Feed to them. You are integrating. But your main business is what? Is cabbage. Or when you are doing the rotation, to do the rotation, you can have the cabbages, green maize, as well as maybe and other like even the green beans to be adding nutrition and to be helping in the soil development. You can be rotating them, but you will still have to have one main business. If one main business is cabbage, get into cabbage, fertilize it properly. When you remove it, you put in the green maize, it will remove the excess fertilizers that remain in there. Then the next time again, you put in your cabbage, because now the green maize, you're not going to put any fertilizer, you make more profit from there because you are specialized in this integrated farming system. Or you can have fish farming and the piggery. You can have the piggery, but in that waste, you just dig up somewhere some fish farming, a fish pond. In that fish pond, all your manure gets into the fish pond. You have it. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is not with us to discuss entrepreneurship, a very interesting topic that the commercial farmers practice. On that one, we will discuss it on another session on Melo Media. You can find us as Lusaka Agrotech Institute in Cairo Road at Indeco House, that is room number 608 on 60th floor, where we are going to discuss further with you in terms of how you prepare your business plan and what other management strategies, entrepreneurship, and just your interest in a number of production, like in fish farming, livestock production, crop production, horticultural production, agribusiness and marketing, agricultural engineering, research and development, and just whatever you intend to plant or to grow. Thank you very much for joining us. We are wishing you a prosperous 2022 in your farming business. And by the end of the year, we want you to say, I made it in agriculture. I fed my country and I contributed to the economic development of my country, especially in the New Dawn, the government that has aligned itself to agriculture. Be a farmer, be sustainable, and be happy. Thank you very much, and take care of yourselves.
Thank you for watching. To sponsor a show or advertise, call or WhatsApp 0763 593 288. Melo Media. Melo Media. Melo Media.
Don't touch anything.